Hello everyone and welcome back to Panzer Corps, where I'll be playing the Spoils of War scenario in this one. It's October the 1st, 1939. Privyet, Comrade General. It's an honor to meet you at last. Your exploits are already well known and much discussed. Rather than simply ask you about them, I'm here to see them myself. You see, Comrade, our planned division of Central Europe, according to the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, does not quite match the reality of the situation we have. Rather than bicker over these plots of land at negotiation table, I have been authorized to engage you and your forces in wargame for these contested regions. Any gray areas not specifically covered under our pact will be solved through our skirmish here. You know what they say, Comrade General. To the victor, the spoils. Right, let's go to the deployment screen here. Okay, here in the deployment phase for the Spoils of War scenario, and there are quite a few things that I'm going to discuss here. First of all, since, well, as time of recording this, it's a summer vacation for me and I have a little bit of time on my hands, finally, after all my hard work and, well, I don't want to call it physical labor, but it's more like mental labor. Either way, I have summer vacation and I have some time on my hands. So that means that I actually have some time to put some time into my recordings, really, and to talk while I actually play the game. Yeah, my girlfriend is away on vacation for some time. And yeah, I have the ability to really go over my decisions during the actual game itself. So that is gonna be great. I don't know how long it will last, but I'll see how far I can get. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty neat. Not only for me, but hopefully for you guys as well. And yeah, that's the first thing that I wanted to discuss. The second thing is that I have actually started renaming my units in order to simulate those historical divisions. I've been doing a lot of research. Well, I've been doing research into some of these divisions and how they look, what kind of units they use historically. And yeah, I want to share my my findings with you, how I'm going to be going through this game with the historical unit composition. Now, the first thing that I want to discuss is the initial unit that I'm trying to simulate here, which is going to be the 7th Panzer Division. Obviously, these are going to be the 1940 compositions, even though I'm already kind of simulating them before that time. But I just felt like already doing this. Either way, 1940 campaign, Fall Gelb, Fall Rot. I'm going to simulate the 7th Panzer Division and how it looks like. Now, the 7th Panzer Division, first of all, had, well, let's just say less tanks than most of the other Panzer divisions. And so I'm going to have to simulate that with only 3 Panzer Abteilungen, if you would say like that. The 7th Panzer Division had, at its core, first of all, the 25th Panzer Regiment. And the 25th Panzer Regiment was comprised of 3 Abteilungen. I've been looking at their composition, and you know, you can't do this 100% accurately. It's always a mix of different units, but because the unit is mostly comprised of Panzer 38Ts, I am going to simulate that by having 2 Panzer 38 TAs and 1 Panzer 2C. Where I got the unit composition from is, I believe it's a website called Lexikon der Wehrmacht. I'll be putting the link of the description, the link to that website in the description below. So if you want to, check where I got my sources from, if you want to have some opinion about that or whatever, maybe I'm wrong in my composition or anything, you can check where my sources are, and I will be glad to discuss that with you. Either way, I've also been looking at how those units are built up, and that Panzer Division has mostly Panzer 38 TAs and also Panzer II, Panzer Is, and I've chosen to go for the Panzer II to represent both Panzer IIs and Panzer Is here. That's those three. So you can see here this the first uptiling of the Panzer Regiment, 25th Panzer Regiment. This is the second uptiling. This is the third uptiling. I'll be deploying those three Panzer units in this map, for example. I still have two Panzer I Bs. I have a plan for these, but I'll be discussing later what I'm going to do with those. Not now. They will also not be deployed in this mission. Either way, that's it for the Panzer Regiment with its three uptilingen. Then this division has for its infantry the 6th and 7th Schützen Regiment, and I have chosen to represent those by 3 infantry and a Quadschützen. So those Schützen regiments, both the 6th and the 7th, are contrived in this game by 2 infantry, because that regiment holds 2 battalions. And I guess this is the 1st battalion of the 6th Schützen Regiment. This is the 2nd battalion of the 6th Schützen Regiment. So this is then the 6th Schützen Regiment. Then I have the 7th Schützen Regiment. This is the 1st battalion. Then we have a 2nd battalion of the Schützen Regiment, which I want to represent by having a Quadschützen. But those are only available from 1941, so I can't do that yet. So I have chosen to get the SE infantry currently as second part of that Schützen regiment. I unfortunately have not yet decided what to do with the SE units. That's it's a bit problematic. I'll be discussing that a little bit later. Either way, that's it for the infantry so far. I'll be switching one of the infantry over to a Quadschützen starting from 1941, but that's the 6th and the 7th Schützen Regiment. After that, we have, as for the artillery, the 78th Artillery Regiment, which is also contrived of 3 Abteilungen, which means that we have here the 1st Abteiling, 2nd, and the 3rd. I've decided to leave the +3 attack artillery behind on this mission. Again, I will only be deploying these three. The 78th Artillery Regiment will be deployed, and the rest I will leave behind in order to fill up another division, which I'll be talking about later. But those 3 are the Artillery Regiment, part of the 7th Panzer Division. After that, we have a Panzerjäger Abteilung 42. Now, these are supposed to be contrived of actual Panzerjägers, which I don't have just yet. Don't know when those will become available. For now, I only have the 3.7cm Pak 36, but I will upgrade this to a Panzerjäger when that becomes available, and that is going to be representing the Panzerjäger Abteilung 42, part of the 7th Panzer Division. Then we have part of the 7th Panzer Division, Pioneer Battalion 58, and that is pretty much the last part of that Panzer Division. So those units will be part of that division at the very least until 1941, where I will once again check how their composition is set up and adjust my units accordingly. 7th Panzer Division, I don't think it fought in Yugoslavia, but I'm very certain it fought in Army Group Center, starting Operation Barbarossa in out there. I think even in operations near Minsk. Either way, it fought in Army Group Center in 1941. So we can continue using the 7th Panzer Division even throughout that time, as it fought on the Eastern Front. I believe right up to 1945. Maybe I'm going to have to check that. I know it was sent back to France for some time and then just got back, like most of the Panzer divisions, for re-equipment. But for the most part, I think it stayed on the Eastern Front. So I'll be using that division throughout the Grand Campaign because I can use it for all that time. That is at least the unit composition for that division. Now I might switch up some units in order to make that a bit more stronger. For example, I have Ole Deer here, which I pretty much actually want to have in one of my real divisions, because I'm going to talk about those gebirgsjäger later, or just in a little bit, but I do want Ole Deer not to be a gebirgsjäger, pretty much. And I'm going to switch him up. Not yet, but I will eventually. Yeah, that brings me to the next division, which is going to be the 2nd Mountain Division. I had to do something with these gebirgsjäger, and I thought that, yeah, this is probably the best solution for now, at least. Why is that? Because the 2nd Mountain Division, which is comprised of the 13th and the 91st Gebirgsjäger regiments, did fight in the campaigns of Poland and Norway. This 2nd Mountain Division, or fought, I believe, in Army Group South in the Polish campaign, and did fight as well in Norway, so I can use those for now. And having 2 Gebirgsjäger is actually great, because the 2nd Mountain Division is really only 13th Gebirgsjäger Regiment and the 91st Regiment. They have some mountain artillery and stuff as well, but I don't want to represent that here. So I'm just sticking to those 2 Gebirgsjäger regiments that are here. So that's represented in this way. Like I said, I'm probably going to switch out Ole Deer, because the Gebirgsjäger regiments, well, the Gebirgsjäger aren't really used that much anymore on the Eastern Front. Yes, they were used in the Caucasus, but we will not be fighting there. So I kind of want to remove all the Gebirgsjäger, most likely after Norway, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I need to do a little bit more research on how I'm going to keep some Gebirgsjäger in my core units, but I will have to come back to that. For now, though, at the very least up until Norway, I think this is pretty solid. So I'm going to keep these 2 units up until then. In Norway, I will likely remove these trucks as well, but that's stuff for later. Either way, I think for now these are looking pretty good. 2nd Mountain Division. So we have 7th Panzer Division and the 2nd Mountain Division currently. Besides that, we have the next unit that I am gonna try and represent, which will be the 10th Panzer Division. I will be talking about 10th Panzer Division in the next mission, so starting from Norway, because I will be buying a couple of units there in Norway, and that means that I will already go and rename some units in order to represent that 10th Panzer Division. For the moment, that 10th Panzer Division isn't there yet, but the 10th Panzer Division is going to be represented by me as well. 10th Panzer Division also fought in the campaign in France and on the Ostfront, meaning that I will be able to use the 10th Panzer Division all throughout the campaigns up till 1945. Because I now have access to pretty good data as to how the German units were built up, where they fought. I will also be able to do a Western campaign with historical settings. So I have an idea in my head about how I'm going to do that by then, but I'm not even close yet to that point, so there's no real reason to discuss that. What I do think is important is for me to figure out what I'm going to do with my SE units by that time. I'm not sure yet, because the SE units, it's very beneficial to have these mostly as tank units. And I would really like to have them as tank units, but I would have to make them part of the actual divisions. The 10th Panzer Divisions, for example, has an overabundance of tanks. However, most of those tanks are Panzer 1s and Panzer 2s, which are tanks that you cannot get as an SE unit, because those will only be Panzer 3 and Panzer 4s at the beginning. I know that 10th Panzer Division had a reasonable number of Panzer 3s and some Panzer 4s, not that much, but some. So I might make it so that 10th Panzer Division, which actually has 6 Panzerabteilungen, have some of those SE units in order to represent 10th Panzer entirely. I might do that, not 100% sure yet. Now, I could have made the SE units represent SS units. I could, but the biggest problem here is that the SS units didn't actually have proper tanks right up until 43. Because at the start of Barbarossa, they were motorized divisions, so motorized infantry divisions. And they just overall did not have a lot of tanks, and with not a lot I mean hardly any. So I cannot have the SE units represent any SS division. It's just impossible, at the very least for now, because I do want mostly tanks for that. Maybe I'm gonna try and build up these units to represent SS units in 43. I could do that, and then I will get regular infantry first, or heavy infantry first, because I believe I can also upgrade. No, I can't upgrade into heavies just yet, but right, they aren't available yet. No, they are not. I can't get them to machine gun units just yet, but yeah, I might make them represent the SS Panzer Division, or maybe Panzer Grenadier Division. I will have to see about that, but for now I'm just selling my mountain units like I just did before I started talking about this stuff, because I got another SE unit. As you could have seen, I did sell it off there, and then after that I started talking about this stuff. So that's pretty much what's going on right now. Not 100% sure what to do with them just yet, but that might be in the cards. So make them represent part of the 10th Panzer Division first, and then afterwards I might switch them into a SS Panzer Grenadier Division or just regular Panzer Division. Not sure yet. It's not that important just yet. At the very least, up until Norway, I can't get tanks anyway, if I'm not mistaken. So there's no real need to worry there. Just gonna keep it going like this. That's it for my talk so far, and that's a lot of talking. Actually, I'm not done yet. I forgot about the rest of the units. First of all, the flak is represented here by the 86th Light Flak Battalion. which was part of 7th Panzer Division throughout the campaign in France. So these guys will be backing up the 7th Panzer Division, and that was the 86th Light Flak Battalion. I'm going to have to switch up that number actually because it says a 1 now, but that should be a capital I. And I'm going to have to select this unit here. So I'll be doing that right away. There we are. So that is represented by that, and like I said, it was part of 7th Panzer Division throughout the campaign in France, so that is taken care of. Next off, the air units, which is also going to be interesting. Right, so there are quite a few of these air units which switch over time. Some of them fought in the campaign in Russia. And so I'm looking for units which also fought in Russia for the most part. Some of these guys I'm gonna have to switch names because some of them they only fought in the west and then not in the east, and there's some name changes, etc., etc. And I'm sure that I can find a name for these units. To represent units that fought closely by the battles that they're playing in Panzer Corps. So these might switch from time to time, and I'll be discussing when that happens. First of all, my plans for the fighters. We have here the 51st Jagdgeschwader. These guys are... They have a total of 4 Gruppen. And because of that, I'm going to be buying 2 more fighters in Norway, so I'll have a total of 4. But that's Jagdgeschwader 51. And these are the fighter groups. They're fighting with Bf 109s, and they fought in the campaigns of France and were part, I believe, of Army Group Center at the start of Operation Barbarossa. Again, don't know if they fought in the campaigns of Greece and Yugoslavia, but too bad. I'm only looking at whether the units fought on the Ostfront or not. And in France. So if these units fought both in France and in Barbarossa, then I'm going to check how long they stayed in the East. And if they stayed there for very long, then that's great for me because I don't have to switch up the name for a long, long time. And then I will be using these guys. But Jagdgeschwader 51 fought in France, fought in the Ostfront, and thus they're in here. Next up, Stuka-Geschwader 77. And I believe these were a total of 3 Gruppen, and thus I'll be buying a 3rd bomber. But these guys also fought in the campaigns of France and in Russia, so I will be getting a 3rd one there, but that's Stuka-Geschwader 77. If you want to look up what these guys did, once again, I'm referring you to the link that I put in the description below, and you might find the unit itself and see its historical positions, etc., what it did. Next up is the wow, some things are pretty tough for me even to pronounce. Zerstörergeschwader 1. And these guys were part of the campaign in France and in Norway. Contrived of the Bf 110C. They are the fighter bombers. These actually had 2 Gruppen. I'm just gonna call them Gruppen, but they had 2 parts to their units, and I believe there will be another fighter bomber that we get during this mission with a hero. I don't remember the hero's name. Might be Helmut Lent. That's actually the only air unit commander next to Rudel that I remember. might be that guy, but yeah, I will need 2 Bf-110Cs, and if I'm getting my second one here, that will also be designated to gebirgsjäger 1. Next up is are these bomber units here, and these are also part of the campaigns in France. I'm gonna have to switch some of these up later on because I'm not 100% sure whether these guys of Kampfgeschwader, 2nd Kampfgeschwader, also fought in Russia. I don't think so. I think they fought against England. Either way, I am going to have these 2 also for the campaigns in France because that's where they were historically. So Kampfgeschwader 2 and Kampfgeschwader 53. Again, these are the units that they used for the most part, with Kampfgeschwader 53 using mostly Heinkel 111s, H2 model, and Kampfgeschwader 2 used mostly Dornier 17Zs. So that's where we are. That's the Luftwaffe. I'm going to be expanding some of these, like I said, the bombers, the fighters, these guys. Now, both of these bombers, both for KG2 and KG53, just gonna do the shortage now, also had 2 parts to them. But I don't want to have 4 strategic bombers at this point. So I'm just gonna let that slide and say that not the entire Kampfgeschwader 2 fought in my area of the battlefield, but another part of Kampfgeschwader 2 might be on a part slightly to the left or slightly to the right, because it's fairly useless to be buying another strategic bomber for no real reason, and I can't represent them anyway because we can deploy that many units. So I'm just gonna let that slide there and say that I'm only using these 2 parts of that historical units, and I might upgrade them later on at leisure. Okay, that's that. Next up, I've talked about everything indeed. So which units am I going to represent in France? 7th Panzer Division, 10th Panzer Division. Currently I have the 2nd Mountain Division as well, but I will be redesignating those most likely after the campaign in Norway, where they did fight historically. I don't think it would be good to do that beforehand, but then at least we already have some idea. Of course, I'll be deploying some tanks in Norway as well, so this is not actually a historic corps for Norway, but I just already felt like setting these up for the campaign in France, and I thought, well, let's just do it now that I have some time on my hands, even though we're only in the spoils of war scenario. Okay, that was a long talk there. As for this mission, it's a pretty tough one, I think, the spoils of war, not only because the enemy has some very serious heavy tanks. I believe they have like KV2s or something deployed near Brest, but they also have a wide variety of units all set up throughout the entire map, which is rather large. First of all, though, I'm going to be giving some replacements, and for the most part, again, these are going to be regular replacements because the experience cap is 225. Again, at this point, because I think that it would be very tough for them to be 2 stars. Like, I would like them to keep gaining experience over time. I'm just going to give them regulars here so they can keep gaining experience. I'm trading experience for prestige. I think in this case it will work out fine. Same for these. As long as they can't get to the soft cap, or experience cap, I should say, I should be able to give them regulars, even though they're dropping below 2 stars. As for you, going for elites for sure after getting back to 10. Unfortunately, they keep hitting these artillery regiments. Let's get you back up there, and these guys are just going to get regulars as well. All right, perfect. Yeah, I haven't discussed my tactics for this mission yet. I know that the enemy will be attacking from the, well, pretty much from all directions. They'll be attacking from the south, from the north, and from the center. So I'll be switching up my units into 3 different groups that are going to try and then converge back upon the center once again after these battles are done. So smaller groups to both of these sides and a stronger force in the center. Now, the group that's going up to the north will be slightly smaller, and they'll be also engaging Vegrov here. Yeah, I'll just have to see how those things work out. But definitely switching up my units into 3 groups, and each group will have 1 artillery here. And like I said, I'll be only using units that are representing the 7th Panzer Division. Pretty much going to put that artillery up front here. I kind of lost my touch, as in I actually don't know whether my units can get across this bridge easily. Really unsure, because there's a railroad, but then not an actual road. So that makes it difficult. Definitely putting that artillery up front. Want to move relatively fast. Gonna deploy both of my fighters, I think, on this one. I will also be deploying the bomber. We'll be deploying my artillery, which is gonna be part of the center group. Let's just put it to the back for now. Might always switch them up. Right, so if we take a look at the terrain, there's plenty of open terrain everywhere. There are a lot of swamps down south, and then a lot of forests, etc. up here. So it doesn't really matter where I'm going to be placing my my panzer regiments, but I'm going to get the very good guy with the spotting and stuff up in the center. So they will do most of the scouting up there. I don't need a recon over in the center then. I'm going to deploy the recon in the south. We do have cavalry on different sides, so that helps as well. Either way, yeah, recon going south, and then 1 tank in the center. I guess I'll put the Panzer II in the north, and then another the Panzer T-38 is going down. 6 units left, not a lot. Luckily, the Schützen, or the SE infantry, can be deployed for free. Let's deploy 1 infantry, 2 infantry up north. Then I want 2 infantry down south. I definitely want the gebirgsjäger to be at the center, in the center group. And question is, do I want pioneers there as well? And I think I do. I don't really have any other infantry over in the center. So let's deploy that there as well. Leaves me with 1 unit. That's actually pretty tough, because I could go for another bomber. -5 attack. Yeah, let's go for the fighter bomber. It's probably pretty decent, I think. Let's do that, and then we'll leave that part of the gebirgsjäger behind. All right, looking good, I think. Yeah, let's get started with this mission here. Rain, huh? Okay, that's fine. Nothing much I can do about that. Let's just go here. And the enemy will also not be able to see a whole lot, so I think I can, at that point, just pretty much move as fast forward as possible. They're not going to get a unit in the swamp. So I still think it's relatively safe, unless they can actually take that hex. Which I don't think so. I'm free to move here. I don't think these guys can take anything as an anti-aircraft unit like that. It's worth trying. No, they can't. Okay, fair enough. And then we still have the tanks as well. Let's just block the road here, just in case they try to go down. Unlikely, but they might. Okay, next up, the center. Oh yeah, I do need to move my infantry as well. Yeah, not so keen on moving them forward all the way. Just put them like that. As for you, it's the center groups. Let's take this. Block this forest hex here. He is still spawning off 2, even in the rain. That's nice. That's real nice. Yeah, I would like to move forward, but I don't think it's that great of an idea there. Let's have the cavalry actually be in the center. That's probably for the best. Because I might not need that many units up here, up in the north. I will take this city though. And yeah, that's... I'm gonna use these guys also at Veglov here anyhow. One, two, three. Yeah, it's tough for them to cross at any rate. In the forest, they're probably not seen. Yeah, just do it like that. And because the enemy cannot bomb me either, I can get some good positions here. So I can spot well. Want to know what's going on over there. They have a vision of 2. Where would they likely have units on the city? So if the weather is good next turn, I can immediately bomb. Alright, that's it for the first turn. So they take that. Yeah, I did get the special bomber unit. Helmutland. As I thought. Don't know why the music is this low again. Alright, that should be a bit better. Hope it's not too loud. Either way, it's a good bombing target. Okay. That's not a great hero to have for a bomber, but not a whole lot I can do about that. So these guys are pretty exposed. Can't move my tank in there though. How about you? I'd like to finish them off in one go, if I can. But if I move you back... Okay, the music is a bit loud here now. Alright. Just, you can take the city then, and I'll use... It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should be able to get back then. If I can't, I'll probably be in trouble. Let's just wait there for a little bit. These guys are unprotected. They do have anti-aircraft there as well. Can't actually hit this with my own artillery. nor will I be able to have artillery backup if I take the actual city. So I might see these guys go and attack. So surprised these guys have such a good backswing. 4 and 5. 4 and 6. These recon are just as powerful as my Panzer 338T. Just pretty crazy. 9-9, huh? All the deer can do this pretty well. Attack here, push them back, get all the deer in their attack. That should work. Maybe. Can move 1, 2. Okay, so I can technically still bomb them. Let's do that. Well, let's just go. Okay, so no luck there, eh? Yeah, that's a shame. Nothing I can do about it. So don't want these guys to hit something nasty, but they, if I might be lucky, they're just in for a repair. This is not ideal, but I want to get closer, so then I just kind of have to do that. Let's use you to block this area now, and then I can bring in the infantry just slightly closer for an assault on the next turn. So it looks a bit better then. Also means that down here, I mean, I can see the enemy throwing some bombers or something at me. Probably going after these down here. I have to move a fighter here to protect all of that. I don't care really if they hit the panzerjäger, the auxiliary panzerjäger. So they would be able to spot the truck if I move it like that. That would be no good. Although, what I could do here is move you by truck. I don't think these are likely to move. So try to bomb it, and then if the anti-aircraft behind it, I might be able to give them a good scare. Let's try that. It's pretty risky though. Okay, so here they're gonna fight back, huh? Let's see how that works out. 8 out of 8. Push them down. Cavalry can do a number on them too. If I have the recon here, there's no way I'm gonna be able to destroy those. But one, two, three, four, five. They have 8 movement, right? You guys, 8. Yeah, they can go back. Take this city. Might still be worth it trying to destroy these regulars here, despite my precarious position for the cavalry. Yeah, that did not go as planned. Okay. That's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate indeed. Let's at the very least try to cover for them. Also with anti-aircraft. You can also see these, so they might also be likely to bomb there. I think they would. Did I just use an unupgraded artillery? Yes, I did. I thought they would be at 12. Guess not. I messed that up. I'm gonna put these to the back so they can still move up and attack, but they're out of harm's way for now. Let's take the airfield though. No, let's not do that. Alright, that's it for the first turn. Oh wow, they're going for these. I'm really shocked here that okay, well. Yeah. Goodbye, cavalry. Well, I tried to get rid of that infantry, but it didn't work out that well. They also repaired. So that's tough. Alright, let's start up here. We know they have anti-aircraft there. I haven't seen any enemy fighters yet, which I do find surprising. If I'm gonna bomb... I'll have to wait it out a bit. So, this artillery needs to go. Strategic bombing, probably best choice here. Let's see the suppression. Only one. Yeah, then I will need to attack it like this. Okay, full suppression. Good. This looks like a pretty good hit. Then I wouldn't need to use my artillery on them. And I can use the panzer-jäger to finish them off. Or I can't. It's also possible. Now let's move you back into the city. Actually try to use Panzer II. Okay, good. Because I need the infantry to move up as well, so I can put the artillery here. Alright. Let's try to soften these guys up a bit too. 2 and 6, huh? Okay, this should be a good attack, yeah. I'll push them out. And then destroy them out in the open. Question is more or less with what do I want to destroy them afterwards. Just gonna retreat, gonna be up here, which is gonna be unprotected. It's not necessarily bad. I could put the cavalry in here, then destroy them from that side. They would have good cover. And I can spot the north a bit. Okay. I need to put artillery here. What is the likelihood they'll attack there? Not much. If I destroy these units, there's little they can see. And then you can take this city. Alright, that's something. So then, take the city, destroy the artillery. Move in here. So these two aren't protected, but the enemy can't really do a whole lot there. And that way I can also set myself up for an attack on these two cities on the next turn. Not sure what the enemy is going to do yet, but we'll see. Probably have anti-aircraft here, not here. Do I want to try and destroy these? And depending on what they have here, I'm in trouble if it's a cavalry. Definitely in trouble. But if it's not, I can still destroy it, maybe. Okay, excellent. That went a lot better than I could have hoped for. Might be able to go for a surrender on this BA-10. Depending on the suppression. (9-4), huh? Yeah, I think it's worth trying. So they can see all that. Not much sense in keeping this fighter somewhere else. Well, rather attack here. That didn't work exactly the way I might have wanted. Okay, so I'm guessing I might be able to destroy them if I move here and here. And both of these actually I cannot see whether they can still attack. I think the way to check that now. Well, let's go. Wow, really? Man. The especially if you have little artillery, the RNG can get a bit crazy sometimes here. Yeah. Let's still just attack here though. Move you back. Like sometimes you have a lot of luck and then you just don't take anything. It's much more high risk now than anything else. Okay, wow. This shouldn't be that big of an issue. Yeah, let's just bomb them first and then move them back. They have very large range. That's some nice suppression there. And probably means I can get some surrender out of them if I would be able to get up in here, but I don't actually want to move that far. That's pretty dangerous. If I attack here, that'd be fine. Not really. Because I don't have any artillery backup at that point. Kind of need to use my fighters up there as well. If I could get this, can land there. Taking this airfield this turn is probably not that bad. I'd like to bomb these guys first. Maybe I can use the artillery on the tanks instead of this guy. That's what I'm hoping for here. So, alright, let's just move you back. Yeah, I need to take one of these airfields, most likely this one, because this is 9. I can do that. Okay, bombing is free now. At least in damage. So that there. Take the airfield. They do have anti-aircraft. They have a vision of 2. Alright. They're not gonna attack on their own. Let's just see what this suppression does here. -3. Which is not bad. It does pave the way for me to attack. Probably the best. Okay, so down to that. Follow it up with the panzer-jäger. Might destroy it. No, but they'll retreat. Yeah, no other way to use it really. What are the odds, huh? Anyway, 6%. Yeah, that's how you take damage for sure. Probably need to put the panzer in front so they won't just go and attack. My best option, I think, here would just to use the gebirgsjäger down here, attack these, and then follow it up with the infantry. So then they can only see this, and moving these here is a lot safer now, especially with that fighter. I don't have to really worry. They might have more fighters, of course. That's always a risk. Make sure to block it from this area. They have nothing in here, though. Okay. That's fair. Now, for you, let's play it safe. And just follow that up nicely. And that's exactly why I wanted to do this. They're not gonna attack, so this is quite safe. Can do a bit of vision. Engineers, huh? And I will make ready for a next attack. Still keeping him in here. Okay. Wow. That's some rough bombing. Seems like they would still make it up there. How about you? Yeah, I'm much better off just destroying those in one go. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Yeah, this would be pushing them down, and then I can finish them off with whatever, like the recon. Okay, so there's nothing else so far. So I'll take those. So I decided to come up with a counteroffensive here, and alright, let's get rid of this anti-aircraft gun though, because clearly it needs to go. Pushing it here is not useful. I don't really like going here. But yeah, let's do it like this. So pushing it up here, and then finishing it off relatively easily that way. So I'll have plenty of opportunity for my planes. Excellent. Do need to take this though. I would be in serious trouble if I didn't. But I do aim to take it. Probably with the Panzer. Yeah, it's no use there. And then they indeed would have a hard time spawning this, which is what it's all about. Fortunately, I don't have a very good follow-up on this, so I'm just gonna have to move in. Would be nice, but I need my artillery coverage. Definitely. Which leaves me with one bomber. Just going through the center. Is this Helmut Lent? Yeah. Let's see what's out here. Nothing. That is highly suspect. Okay, I don't want to rush it too much. I think taking this, if they then come with an infantry counterattack, I'll be in serious trouble. So that's, I don't think that's the way to go. No, that needs to go. Yeah, definitely does. Okay. Let's use the recon. Getting blocked, huh? Well, weather is still cloudy. That's no good. What are the odds that they have anti-aircraft gun? Not that high, I think. Alright, let's try to make something of it here. So shelling them first. Probably will destroy it then. Moving up so it gets pushed down, if not. Okay, it's down. It's the first one. I don't aim to destroy that regular, but I will go for the engineer and the truck. Good hit. Again, I need it to move down so I can finish it off. So I will push it down there, I think, yeah. Okay. There we go. Wow. Okay, let's move you back though, and I need to move these up. I haven't been able to hit this, but I can't see, so they might just try to move forward. Maybe. Again, what are the odds they're gonna go for a counteroffensive? If they have anti-aircraft guns there, I'll be in trouble. They'll move and then attack. But the weather is cloudy. I can risk it. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I certainly don't like seeing that. So they wouldn't be able to see this anyway, yeah. Panzer II might get it now, though. Nope, it's not in the cards. No, I won't even be able to destroy it now. So it might just as well block all that area. And make sure that I'll be able to destroy them on the next turn. That really sucks. Really, really does. Alright, one thing I might be able to do is lure them out to destroy the cavalry. I'd rather have that than that they're going after the Panzer regiment. That's not nice, but it's probably better than anything else here. I'll try. Yep, okay. Okay, good. So it didn't suffer that many hits. Very happy about that. And the weather is good, so I can use that. Let's start attacking. These are both already very high in experience. Okay, let's do some scouting here. Dug in conscripts, and I still have a few more units out there too. Alright, good to know. Sweet. Very useful indeed. That way I'm having a bit more leeway around here. They didn't even attack. Probably that attack is still quite bad for them. Let's just go for regulars. So pushing them here, I can destroy them with the cavalry. Maybe. Probably for the best. Trying to pull that off. No. At least they went back. Alright then. That's not very nice. Really don't want to use artillery on them. But yeah, let's just do it like this. Alright, regulars down. So probably these will try to push up as well, up till here. Gonna have to retreat a bit. They might try to take that. I don't think they have trucks. They don't, so they can't reach all the way there. If one of these goes down here, they might see this, so they'll try to attack the pioneers. No sir, I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Alright. Conscripts have vision of 1, so they wouldn't be visible. But it's still a tad dangerous. Let's do it like this. Then they're relatively well protected, and keep the fighter in there. Okay. Only problem is this guy now. Kinda missed that. Let's just hope they don't have any airplanes. Uh-oh, out of artillery. Let's hope it won't hurt too bad. Okay, it didn't. They did repair those guys, though. Well. Might be able to come up with some decent attacks. Pretty high initiative. So gonna be a tough nut to crack. Also, these guys are low on ammunition. Just have to move them back here. BT5 should be a lot easier to deal with eventually if I get around to it. Not even these guys have a good attack on them. No. Bypassing them is out of the question. You're setting up for an attack there next turn. Alright. So moving these here is then probably good, because then that kind of means that I can use the 88s on the next turn. Yeah, so even though this is not a great turn, then here's what I'm stuck with. And my units will be reasonably protected. Ooh. Okay, let's snoop around. Guess I have to start trying to dig those guys out. If they gonna try to get around that, there will also be a problem. And I don't know what's here. Let's move like this then for now. Doesn't leave a whole lot of gaps then. Not a very great turn. Admittedly. But at least they went out of their way. It does mean that I can't use the 88s though. Yeah, I think we're in the clear for most of these then. $10-1. I should be able to follow that up. Down to 3. Alright, that's 1 down. Next up is a T-26S. Okay, great. Because that means that I can push it onto the river hex. Let's bomb it first. One, two, three. Okay, so these guys can also reach that. Sure. Because I need to reach the river at this turn. So then, now that I will reach the Naru this way. Finish up the T-26. Move you guys through. Take the city. Okay. And destroy those guys. Looking decent. Not bad at all. Are you... Yeah, you have spotting +2. That's what counts here. Because I'll be moving it all the way down. For a chance to see that they have a BT5. Okay, so moving the artillery down here then will allow me to attack it on the next turn. And they have a vision of 2, don't they? Yeah. Okay, so I can't put it that close. But putting this infantry here keeps it out of sight, and then next turn they'll move in here and attack. Hopefully dealing some good damage. Meanwhile... see, they can move here and here. But I don't think they'll be likely to go here. That would be odd. Maybe this is the better option. Just like that. Move you back. Again, it's cloudy. Let's go over the city. Nothing. Well, I surely cannot attack there, especially with my air units. Kind of means I have no targets with them. Ah, okay, counterattack. Okay, so certainly keeping them in this position will at least be a decent choice. Yeah, the question is really one about anti-air, I guess, there. We'll have to see. Let's try to deal with these guys first. Let's see. Is this better? It is. Okay, excellent. Let's you have him. Okay, let's block off this route and do some scouting. Nothing in the vicinity. Then I'll take that city. And I kind of need to wait for my artillery here, unfortunately. Because I'm not too excited about attacking here. And even this, I think they would survive with 2 entrenchment. Probably. I'm moving you back here. We'll see what they do. Okay, that's pretty good. And gotta try to go around. That's not gonna work that well for them. And we did get their artillery here. This also gets them out of anti-aircraft range, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Okay. Yeah, I'd rather use these. Get rid of them there. Nice one. I don't expect them to send more troops into that direction either. So that should work out. Okay, let's use you down here. And the thing is, I kind of suspect them to have anti-aircraft here, so if it moves here, that's only 2 axes, so that means all of these are pretty much free to attack. I mean, not this hex, unfortunately. But gotta milk this for all it's worth. Okay, so you have spotting 4. Moving up here would allow me to see what's there and there. Whereas they can never spot what I have. Even if they were to have a bunker here, which they might. But it also means no anti-aircraft up here. Okay, so it's fairly safe. Moving them. I still have 10 turns, which also isn't bad. Okay, let's try this. I really had hoped. No, that's too risky indeed. Really hoped to be able to then destroy it with the recon, but that's not gonna work now. It's probably just gonna repair. That's fine. Although, kind of have to retreat for a bit. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they can attack me in the rear now. And that just wouldn't do. So doing it like this is a lot more stable. They don't know this is here. So then they might try something different. And I think even these guys, yeah, they have only 1 hard attack, but I think they can send their own, at least against the BT-7 with artillery support. Even if it's not the best artillery support I've ever seen. And as for the artillery... the question is, do I want to dig these guys out? I think I do. Okay, so I'm taking a pretty big risk in saying there might not be anti-aircraft here. Okay. Then I can also try to do it here. that's pretty much the guess. So I do have this guy here, KV2 indeed. You're going down. I'm shipping you. Yeah, that's the question down here too. Okay, that's it then. Okay. Not bad for me. These are ripe for the picking. Sweet. Even though this guy is probably the least of my my problems, so you can move down in here, but that doesn't matter too much. My biggest concern is these, so I kind of have to, because I don't want them to retake any of those. That will give them too much prestige, and I'm not too keen on that. Let's move in here. Shell them. That's bad. Okay, I can move like this and finish them off this way. Maybe. Okay. This is not going as smoothly as I might have hoped. Come on. Okay, good. And that means you're gonna go back to the airfield. They won't be spotted there, really. Let's get you all the way out here to potentially finish them off. Perfect. Need to keep up the pressure. I don't have that much time anyhow. I have some time, but it's yeah, that's not good. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't do a whole lot here without backup. So again, I'm kind of tied with these units, and I have to wait until I can break through and start using artillery on them. I also need to get something of artillery over down there. So I need to get you here. They have a movement of 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just hope this is enough. I mean, they did repair these as well. That's always going to be a a tough challenge. Nope. What is the rugged defense chance here? That's the big thing here. So 17%. No thanks. Oh, I have this fighter. Ah, okay. Wow. I'm glad it didn't get killed. Okay. Whoa. And that's a 40% kill chance. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, 5, 4, 3, 2. Still wouldn't be able to make these guys surrender. Pushing them back anyway would be quite hard as well. So focusing on those would be tough. However, I would like to use all my artillery here, so I'm gonna use these to attack like this first, and they're down to 5. Okay, so I do need my artillery here then. There's no other way around it. Need to suppress them, push them back, and then destroy them. I can't do it any other way. They're a tough nut to crack as well. Not gonna lie. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should be able to get back then. No. That's odd. I guess there's not a whole lot I can do about that then. Just unbelievable, this guy. Okay, so with these guys lured out, I might be able to get them. I need to destroy these. I think I can do that without too much hassle. I'm gonna gamble. There's a unit here and they won't be able to use anti-aircraft fire. If they do, that's gonna be too bad. No luck there, huh? I have to say, I'm definitely not doing that well in the luck department here. Alright. It means... yeah, I can't move them down. There's just nothing I can do now. At least that went well. Yeah, I need to push these up. Okay, I think I can attack now here. I think that should be fine. Or not. Okay, so these out here, you're just moving away. I keep these around. I'm not too keen on them attacking a Panzer II, to be fair. I 1, 2, 3. Might be able to ambush one of these if they try to move down. That wouldn't be too bad, I think. And with the enemy units relatively weak, I think I can get these guys up here too, so they have a better shot at attacking whatever needs attacking. Okay, where you going? Down there. Fine. Oh. That's not the worst for me. They just repair. Okay. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it surrender. So I might just as well go after these guys. Move back up. This is just clear, yeah. I'll put the recon in front. Now, it's a shame I didn't do any damage there, but at least it's only at 6 strength. I know it can see this. It's also almost out of ammo, and they can't repair this way because I have too many units around it. So that helps, I suppose. Let's finish off these. I need to make sure to take this before they can build new units. So that's empty. They might try to put a new unit in there. Maybe if they attack, they would run into the artillery. I'm not sure what they're trying to do here. I mean, if they go up and attack this, again, that exposes them quite a bit. So, that's not too bad. Yeah. And this is an artillery, huh? Well, because it's an artillery now, I have to be careful because they will probably try to go and retake that city, which wouldn't be good. I can use you to block the way, but that's also not the greatest. So I should be able to shift you up and then destroy this. So regular. Without too much issues. Let's just move you back up, and that blocks the way up here. They're fairly weak, so I don't expect them to do anything. Yeah, that sucks. Really? Really? Alright. Come on. It's gonna cost me, well, experience again, unfortunately. Now that that's done, I cannot really do that. Okay, let's actually just move up and start attacking this. Just as long as I think they're pretty worn out. Sure, this is actually fine. As long as I keep my units like this. So the question here is, what is going to attack me? I don't think there's a whole lot that can attack me at this point, but I mean, the regulars are going to attack for sure. All right. Still have you. Nope. Didn't expect that, but fair game. Okay. And I'm happy they only repaired that. That will pave the way for some good offenses. Let's finish you off. Okay, not bad initiative. Not bad at all. And then that's that. I need a good bomber here. Because I need to shell you. If I move in here, I don't see those conscripts attacking anyhow. But alright, so they will have anti-aircraft there. Still, yeah, they do. Okay. And most important thing is getting right next to this, which I can do from the next turn. So I can only hope they won't be building anything this turn. Just gonna put you in harm's way though. And yeah, I can't even bomb anything else. They do have another air unit, so, or airfield, so I might just put you here. And I'm gonna allow them to repair this because that cost them prestige. Which is good for me. Yeah. That's why I needed to be right next to that. Okay. And I can do that now. Move you back. This is also a bit worrisome. However, first I'll do this. Move you in. Here. So now they can't build anything anymore. And this is still reasonable coverage. Nope. Yeah. There we go. You can do anything for now, but they'll recover on the next turn. Let's just make sure that that's covered nicely. Since these guys can't attack, I might just as well move here. I'm gonna keep them busy. All right. Like I said, they should not be able to buy anything anymore. No. Man, I did take a lot of hits on this one. Right. First of all, I think a resupply for you. This will push them into the city, and then I can easily destroy that one. Or at least that's the idea. These will still be protected by the other artillery. So now I will have plenty of turns to dig them out. The only position I don't really like is theirs. Certainly they're not gonna abandon the city, but I might just as well go. Any of these guys don't have the max amount of experience, they don't. Since I have 2 more turns, I can take it relatively easy. I'll go after the conscript first because I can, and then after the regular. There's no rush now. Reina. Well, I don't want to overdo it. I do have only 2 more turns, so maybe it's better to start suppressing him. Okay, this... This should be good enough, and they won't attack by themselves, I think, into either of these. Especially not like this. And a turn. Alright, just cloudy. Sweet. Take it. Okay, maybe I'm gonna turn this guy into a Kratschützen, who knows? Because that would be a lot better. And like I said, I will do that eventually anyway. Alright, there we go. Took a lot of damage on this one. But I managed. Yeah, there was a pretty intense battle, but yeah, I liked it nonetheless. So again, you know, because you have less artillery, you're gonna see some huge swings. Also, indeed, when the enemy KV came out after my my Wehrmacht infantry, it took a big hit actually. Was actually happy it didn't surrender. Either way, that's this mission, the Spoils of War. Let's take a look at the briefing. Yeah, decisive victory. My forces have been utterly defeated, and victory is yours, Comrade General. Although I still feel I should thank you. You and your men have saved me the expensive task of purging my obviously incompetent field commanders. Enjoy your victory, Comrade General. Do widzenia. Right, that's gonna be it for this one. Next up will be Operation Weser Übung. 3 more missions to go for Grand Campaign 39 before we head down to 1940. Thanks for watching. See you all next time. Bye bye. Take care.